Let's do an energy update. Can you feel air is prickly? Air is just filled with energy at the moment. A lot of the body responses to this big influx of energy, a lot of the body response is stiffness, aches and pains. What's going on? I'm creaking and I'm cracking and I'm not usually this stiff. A lot of you are going to feel joint pain. Tiredness is another very big one. We will all experience ascension symptoms in our very own unique way. There's no one symptom, there's no one thing that you're meant to experience. These are just common and likely for most of you or a lot of you. The reason why joint pain comes up is because this is storage, you know, whether it's your shoulders, your knees, your back, whatever it is. These are storage areas for old energy, old program, old information. And as we release, the joints have to flush out this old information. But why are we releasing now? What is this? Well, big, huge influx of energy is coming into the planet and into the bodies. And I want to paint the picture for you that the galactics share with me as we connect to this unfolding energy, waiting for the lights to come on, waiting for someone to say, okay, we can start living now, we can start ascending now, we can start going now. That's going to be the feeling, almost like, whoa, I can move forward again. Then you're going to think, but wait a minute, why would that make me tired? It's going to make a lot of you tired because the past energy became an identity. The past grid that we lived under, and I'm going to explain that grid in a little moment, it continually bombarded the body with programming that the body absorbed and believed and acclimated to and said, well, this is normal and this is who I am and this is just how life is. It's that we have to let go of right now. And that letting go is what can create the joint pain, the tiredness, and just so many ascension symptoms. You can definitely get ringing in the ears. That's another big one. Vertigo is another big one. Anything to do with a feeling like you're underwater. Do you know that feeling like your ears block when you go underwater? The reason why we experience the watery symptoms along with these ascension upgrades is because as we enter into different frequencies of energy, it's very similar in terms of how the body experiences it to being in different depths of water. So tell me in the comment section about your ascension symptoms. I'd love to hear, but I know that they're varied. Don't get stuck in them. I'm just sharing that with you so that you feel kind of like, well, if you've got the tiredness, the joint pain, whatever else is going on, that you go, okay, you know, I'm not doing too badly here. The visual. This is really beautiful to me. The visual that I want to paint for you is a before and after. Here's the before. Planet Earth shrouded, veiled in a grid. And it really does look like a crisscross patterning energetically. A grid that separates the planet from life out there. From cosmic consciousness, from cosmic connection, from universal contact with not only other life, but with life itself, which leads the planet to experience a lifelessness, a heaviness, a slowness, a death-like feeling, because that's what separation induces in us. Now, what the planet experiences at that macrocosmic level, we experience on the microcosmic level, which means the physical body also experiences itself as shrouded, disconnected from the same thing, each other, life, cosmic contact with our own divine self. The grid is not only separating us, it's also keeping us back, keeping us in, because the grid is emitting kind of like a electromagnetic bandwidth that's keeping humanity to a certain frame of mind, where they keep referencing the past and all the things that are going to keep them stuck, all the old programming, which originates in that grid. It's so important to understand that when we're born with a sense of self, and then it's disconnected. And what I mean by this is, in utero, you've got that sense of self, sense of connection to the divine, because you're not fully, you're embodied, but you're not fully incarnated and embodied. At the point of birth, that physical experience happens for you, and it's at that point that the severing occurs. And at that point of severing, there's a huge trauma to the body. The trauma is, whoa, I've just lost something. Of course, the baby can't articulate. You as an infant could never articulate. What is this loss that I experience? It's the loss of the connection to the true self. So all we then have is the body self. And the body is a composite of and a container of ancestral trauma, ancestral memory. It is frequency that's emitted from the grid that the body absorbs. Think of the body as the container, and it's going to make a lot of sense. So we then start wrongly identifying with the body and saying, this is me, this is my identity, this is who I am, but it's not. It is not the truth of who you are. It is more like a container for the experiences that you're being projected to via the grid, via programming, via programs such as karma, ancestral trauma, all of this stuff going on. The true self, because of that crisscross veil that separates you from your own higher self, higher consciousness, there is a loss, there is a deep sadness, there is a deep disconnect to the essence of who you are, and this generates and creates a fragmentation, a loneliness, a entrenched separation. It is what we call hell. Hell is not an external place, it's the experience of separateness from the divine. It's the hardest thing that the human being can endure. This is what we were born to. So the first visual is this mesh, the grid, the veil, and how it impacts not just the planet, but each individual body. Here we are, May 2022. For a very long time, for a very, very, very long time, this grid has had holes in it. It's dissolved in certain places. It's had light coming through. So there's been a lot of work that's being done to this grid. But as of May 2022, the visual that comes through is a very bright light, and the very bright light is the universe, which is pure source consciousness, coming directly to the earth via a huge hole in that grid. And as that new life, this true reconnection now occurs, not through a trickle, but rather this huge, could we call it a gateway? That's a good word. This huge gateway, this huge pathway of light. It's just flooding onto the planet. And as it does, it dissolves the rest of that grid, what remains of that grid, which means the control system is dissolving. That's going to take time for humanity to acclimate to. I don't want any of you to be under the impression, oh, okay, we're done. You know, our job here is done. That's it. We did what we came to do. It only really just begins now. Because now we've got the dissolution of this grid. We've got this direct connection to pure creation light codes. They're streaming in, the body's absorbing them, full on absorption of what we've been deprived of and separated from, which is going to include the true self, true reality, cosmic contact, connection. It's just going to come streaming in. Because for a long time to come, that grid that we were born to is going to continue to exist out of habit in the minds of the human beings who experienced it. It's kind of like being in jail for all your life. Suddenly you're out of jail, you're still going to feel kind of like you're in jail. Because if that's been your experience and that's what you know, and that's what you've kind of conditioned yourself, acclimated yourself to and called normal, now that you're out of jail, you're going to keep looking for the comfort and the security of that confined space. That's the nature of human beings. As much as we've got this influx of pure cosmic light codes coming in, the body's absorbing it, the real work begins now, but it's going to make accessible to each one of you a level of divinity and connection to the true self that has not been there before. Your relationship to life is going to change. Your relationship to time is going to change. Your relationship to relationships are going to change. These are three things, three big changes that I'm talking about. Your relationship to life, to time, and to relationships. Your relationship to life is changing because you're going to realize that veil of separation is no longer there. And that's going to give you more of a sense of union, partnership even. It's going to give you a sense of, I am where I am meant to be, because the truth is exactly that. You are where you're meant to be. Think of it like this. What separates you from your higher self? Time. The thing that separates you from your higher self is time. And as humanity, we've always thought of that separation of time as this long, arduous place that we've just got to be and wait. Like we're waiting for ascension. We're waiting for something good to happen, waiting for abundance, waiting for life to get better, waiting for people to make better decisions. Waiting, right? So time for us has been a waiting game. That this means that time has had the power, not humanity. Big shift. Big shift occurs now as we come into more of a 5D consciousness with time. We're going to realize that time does not equate to the stuff I've got to wait for anymore. It's now going to start equating to the journey that I'm on. So time is still the pathway that connects you to your higher self and all of those eventualities. However, instead of I've got to wait for time, 3D concept, it's now this is my journey that I'm walking. I am now present. So I'm not in the past and I'm not in the future. I am now present with life. Your relationship to life is changing as you become more present with it. Your relationship to time is changing as you become more of an active co-creator, because it's literally just the pathway. Your relationship to relationships are going to change. Why? Because the veil, that distance between yourself and life and God and people and things and energy, it's beginning to dissolve. And it's not really that it's beginning to dissolve. If I'm really honest with you, I'm going to say to you, it actually has dissolved, but you're beginning to understand that it's dissolved. You're beginning to get acclimated to the dissolution. And it is this process that is going to allow you to make deeper, much deeper contacts and connections with yourself and others and life. Opening the pathway to more sacred sexuality, more sacred relationships. It's going to open up so much connection to you. So on one hand, prickles. The air is filled with prickles and aliveness that's never been here before, as we've got this portal of cosmic light just pouring into the planet. It elevates humanity. Humanity stands up in the light of these cosmic codes coming in and says, wait a minute, I am sovereign and powerful. And no, I'm not waiting for things to get better. I am the active participant, the active creator in my life. Humanity is undergoing a massive shift in consciousness. You that's listening to this, you are listening to this because you're front running these changes. Because you are living as an example of light and consciousness on the planet, which makes it safe for others to catch up to. How long is that going to take them? Doesn't matter, because we're not waiting for time anymore. There will be many of you. You will join me here in this place of supreme connection to presence, to aliveness, to life as it was always meant to be. We will be here with each other at the precipice, not waiting for others to catch up, but exhilarated as we move forward, as we quantum leap our way into the next and the next and the next, unfolding life. Everything has shifted. May 2022 is the beginning of that shift. Enjoy it. I'll meet you there. Lots of love, everyone. Bye-bye for now.